Father, we thank you for this another day, another journey. We thank you for this community board. We thank you for the officers and elected officials. See that the scouts are here. We thank you because we've come together to do what we need to do for our community and our people and our elders, our young people. And Father, remember all of us that are here tonight. And when we leave, that we will get to our destination safe. And Father, we thank you just being alive. We thank you because you're so good to us. You carry us here and there. But Father, just remember that we are all here because of you. And God, you are God. And we thank you in your precious name. Everyone say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Dingle. On behalf of the community, I just wanted to express my condolences to Mary Little, Chair of the Parks, Art and Culture Committee, on the loss of his wife, Francine. Services will be held on May 9th at Woodward Funeral Home, and it's going to be viewing from 2 to 6, and the funeral service from 6 to 8 p.m. I would also like to express sympathy to the family of Marcella Simmons, who is a former board member and was the church clerk at Bedford Baptist Church. Her funeral services have already taken place. Also, I want to wish a speedy recovery for Brenda Bryson, former chair of Community Board 3, who was recently hospitalized. I'm going to briefly report on some of the activities I've been involved with recently on behalf of the community. So, on April 4th, I attended a half-day tour of all the parks in Community Board 3, given by Marty Warren, Parks Department, Brooklyn Commissioner. Also attending were District Manager Henry Butler and the co-chair of the Parks Committee, T.J. Wilson. On April 9th, myself, Mr. Butler, and Doris Penn, chair of the Housing and Land Use Committee, attended a meeting with Councilmember Carnegie and staff from City Planning to discuss their study of Atlantic Avenue. There were not a whole lot of details given at that meeting, other than that they're doing a study and they talked about some of the existing conditions. As Atlantic Avenue is the border for Community Board 3 and Board 8, Crown Heights. On April 18th, we had a meeting with the leadership of Community Board 8. And at that meeting were myself, again, Mrs. Doris Penn, Mr. Butler, and attending from Community Board 8 was their chair, and the district manager of Board 8, Michelle George, as well as several of the committee chairs from Board 8. Discussion around zoning changes is going to be, zoning changes on Atlantic Avenue is going to be ongoing, and maybe you'll hear a little bit more about that in Mr. Penn. Many of you are aware of the murder that took place in early April on Madison Street between Tompkins Avenue and Brook Avenue. A young man named James Halsey was shot in front of his house with his child and mother inside. On April 10th, I attended a violence interruption demonstration and vigil along with Stacy Ruffin, the secretary for the board. There were some anti-violence groups that organized the Vigil SOS. I also attended James Hawley's funeral with Reverend Dingle. I saw she was in attendance. And I hate to reflect on this, but the summer hasn't started yet. We must be our neighbor's keeper. And if we see something, we have to say something. I'm not sure if we'll have an update from any of the police on what's happening with that case. On a brighter note, I would like to announce this evening that I'm naming Omar Walker. Is Omar here? He's not here yet? Okay. So he's going to give some relief to Gregory Glasgow. He's going to be the Vice Chair of the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee. So I'm finished with my remarks. I'm just going to read the agenda for tonight, and then we'll get started. Next will be the acknowledgement of elected officials and community partners, to be followed by the district manager's report. We have two informational presentations this evening, one from the Education and Youth Committee on Progressive Middle School co-located in PS 35. Our second presentation will be from the Senior Committee regarding the Maria Lawton Senior Center. We have 4 public hearings this evening. One will be from the Housing and Land Use Committee on the ACS facility at 265 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. We have 3 public hearings from the Economic Development Committee. One is for a liquor license for business located at 990 Broadway. And there are 2 public hearings for sidewalk cafe applications. One business located at 358 Kosciuszko Street, and the second business, Pilar, at 397 Green Avenue. After the public hearing, we're going to have community announcements, followed by a roll call, committee updates and resolutions. I think we have one resolution. We have one resolution from the Transportation Committee, followed by a vote of action on the public hearings, chairperson's report, acceptance of the minutes, and adjournment. So we're going to move on to our acknowledgement of elected officials and community partners, starting with Fire Department, Battalion 37, Battalion Chief John Murphy. And if you could all please be ready. We're going to have a microphone. So, you can come up right here so it can be live stream. And if you could all please keep your remarks to 2 minutes. Okay, so it's going to be in this order. Battalion Chief Murphy, Boy Scouts, troops from Bethany Baptist, Wade Devonish, Ingrid Joseph, Supervising Judge, Candace Julian, from the Borough President's Office, Sheldon Jones, DA.
Hi everybody, I'm Chief Murphy. I'm from the Fire Department, Battalion 37, over on Ralph Avenue in Gates, and we're responsible for most of a big chunk of the community Water 3 area. We did have, unfortunately, in April, we did have a fatal fire in the area, and we just want to remind everybody how important it is that the smoke detectors are in your apartments, in your homes, that the batteries are replaced, and that they are working. At this particular fire, the smoke detector did operate. Neighbors heard it and called the fire department. And the fire itself was resolved very quickly, but unfortunately, we did have one fatality. If you have smoke detectors, the landlord is responsible for supplying the detector. but you need to maintain it and keep batteries, fresh batteries in it. And we do have batteries out in the hallway here on your way out tonight. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Wayne Devonish. I'm an assistant scoutmaster at Bedford Baptist Church. And I just wanted to make the community aware that scouting, Boy Scouts are alive and well in Bedford Stuyvesant. And if you have some young men that are a little idle or need some direction, the Scouts are here for them. We are at Bedford Baptist, and Bedford actually has 4 scout troops. So it's definitely an option that I love folks to look at and entertain and definitely support. So that's all I'm going to say. And this young man is actually going to play his Eagle Scout, and he's just 15 years old, so that's like a top rank support scout.
Thank you very much. Ingrid Joseph.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Ingrid Joseph, and I'm the supervising judge of the civil court in Brooklyn. And this is an opportunity for me to come out and meet everybody so that you can see what your vote does. And you elected me in 2008, and I was appointed as an acting Supreme Court Justice in 2012, served in a matrimonial part in 2015, and became a supervisor in 2017. My 10 years are up, so I'm out here so that you can see me, so that when you see us on the vote ballot, thank you, and you see us on the ballot in November or in September, that you'll know who you're voting for. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Bedside. My name is Candace Julian, Bureau Liaison in the Office of the Brooklyn Borough President, Arabelle Adams. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to pick up the Borough President's Message of the Month. It highlights the work being done at Borough Hall and what the Borough President is doing around the borough. It highlights the upcoming events. My favorite, the Adopt a Shelter Animal event held at Borough Hall. If you have a cat or a dog, you can also get them vaccinated at Borough Hall, and that's the first Saturday in June. As always, if you have any questions that you would like the Borough President to ask the Borough President, or things you would like to bring to our attention, you can reach me at the office at 718-802-3981. Thank you.
Thank you. And can you tell us when the Borough President's going to have the information out about the appointments?
I'm sorry?
When will the Borough President have the appointments, notices out for the community?
Why'd you put something on the spot? Appointments will be out soon. A couple of our elected officials were late sending in their recommendations. And we have the swearing in on May 22nd, so we'll be out very soon. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Shelton Jones from the Brooklyn DA's office, be followed by Shafi Roberts from Senator Montgomery's office, and Naomi Hopkins from Assemblyman.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Good evening. My name is Shelton Jones, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Office of Public Engagement for your Brooklyn District Attorney, Mr. Eric Gonzalez. Just one very brief announcement I have. Last year sometime, an individual was arrested for illegally installing meters in a couple of homes, actually 30 homes throughout Brooklyn. He was a former employee of National Grid, and he was going around and illegally putting in gas meters in new developments to avoid the paperwork. Well, I'm proud to announce that he was just recently sentenced to up to 7 years in prison for the work that he did. Some of these houses were right here in Bedford Stuyvesant. So he was able to get a plea deal, but he will spend up to 7 years in prison. Dastardly deeds will not be tolerated here in Brooklyn. In addition, you can always reach out to the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office if you have any information involving crimes and/or any quality of life issues. You can call our Action Center. The number is 718-250-2340. Again, that's 718-250-2340. I can be contacted directly at 718-250-3146. Again, 718-250-3146. I'll be here if anyone has any questions afterwards. Have a good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Shakti Roberts. You can please be ready in 2 minutes. Speaking. Naomi Hopkins will follow her and be followed by Emily Mateo, Assembly Member.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shakti, representing Senator Montgomery's office. Very quickly, I just want to give you an update on the situation at Old Boys High. I know some of the teachers and the students came and spoke to you guys last month. The PEP did vote on that co-location and it is moving forward. The DOE has promised us that they'll work very closely. Our office and Assemblywoman Wright's office has been working very closely with the students there and the teachers there. We've been to the school, we've seen the programming space, and DOE has promised that they'll work with us, so we'll be holding them to that, and we'll certainly have another update for you next month. Also, everyone should have received this in the mail for the most part if you're here. It is our mailer on the Census 2020, which is coming up. I think we did a pretty good job of explaining why the census is important, what kind of resources you get when you're counted, how you can get involved in making sure that we are not undercounted like we often are, and also there are going to be a lot of job opportunities coming up as they roll out the census going forward. So,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I did bring extras if you didn't get it in the mail.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naomi Hopkins from Assemblymember Tremaine Wright's office. She does send her regards. She is in Albany. The legislative session doesn't end until the end of June, as most of us know. I just have 2 quick announcements. This Saturday, on the first floor of the multipurpose room, we will be partnering with LME Special Services to host a mental health first aid training. It is an 8-hour session, and the cost to participate, there's no cost to participate. Please come and learn the 5-step action plan to respond to a mental health crisis. So this will help participants learn how to immediately deal with someone that might be experiencing a mental health crisis. You know, we're not going to be psychologists at the end, but it will be very, very helpful. We do have 9 slots left. An RSVP is required. Maceo is back there in the back, and you can give your name and phone number to him to RSVP before you leave this evening. And in partnership with Councilmember Cornegy's office and Uncommon Schools and the CEC, will be having bedside reads on Thursday, May 24, 2018, at the Macon Public Library. Again, that's Thursday, May 24, 2018, at the Macon Public Library. Please call our office or see Maceo in the back to RSVP. Thank you.
Thank you. So, in this order, please, Emily Mateo, Oliki Alave, District for 67, Marcia McGibbon, Brooklyn Public Library, for Greece Armand from Department of Corrections.
Good evening, my name is Emily Mateo, and I'm a representative for Assemblyman Walter Mosley, and he would like to invite you guys to this week's Chamber on the Go. So Chamber on the Go is a van that brings services to Brooklyn businesses on site, while at the same time building a healthy environment throughout Brooklyn. So if you have a new business and you need some some business advice, this is the perfect place to actually log on into their website and actually visit us on that day. So it will be at Franklin Avenue between Atlantic Avenue and Empire Boulevard, which will be that whole strip, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I know a lot of you guys are busy. I did leave flyers and there's a website. So if you want them to come out and visit you guys, flyers are outside and you can definitely contact them or you can contact us. Thank you so much and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's good to see you. My next town hall, thank you for those who came to the April town hall. The May town hall is Thursday, May 31st. The special guests for the evening include Commissioner Greg Bishop from the Department of Small Business Services. The flyers are outside. Here's what they look like. We will also have representatives there from the New York City Housing Authority, a lot of issues around NYCHA. So they will be there that night. And then there is a race for the surrogates court. It looks like a contested race, so you'll be able to meet the candidates that night. Judge Ingrid Joseph is correct. In September and November, there will be several candidates on the ballot, but the race that seems to be contested right now is the surrogates court, which is located at 2 Johnson Street, downtown Brooklyn. And that's the court. You know, they say everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to. Got it. So, you know, whether you leave a will, you don't leave a will, that's the court that executes, you know, what happens. And they also handle guardianships. So come out and meet, I think it's 2 women who step forward to run. And then finally, the Brooklyn Navy Yard will be there. The Navy Yard takes up several community boards, Community Board 2, Community Board 3, and Community Board 1. A lot of stuff is happening down at the Navy Yard. So I invite you to come out. Thank you so much. And to all the mothers, happy Mother's Day.
All right. Marcia Gibbon, followed by Grace Armand, be followed by Nick Kirk, controller.
We are reopened. Please come on down. We are at 617 BklynBridges at the corner of Nostrand. Sorry. We're at 617 at the corner of Nostrand. Just a general announcement. This year's summer reading starts June 9th. The theme this year is Books and Beats. We will not be having a bike ride. This is just Books and Beats this year. Every branch will be having a party on June 9th. For my branch in particular, of course, we have our regular programs. I left things outside, but we have some new programs coming. We have a yoga program now on Saturdays, May 12th, May 19th, June 2nd, June 16th. I left some flyers outside as well. We are showing some classic black films on Mondays. Please come on down. And we have homework out every Monday, 3 to 6, for grade 1 to grade 8. Please do come on down. She's been sitting there every Monday. And we are on Facebook, we are on the website. Thank you all for your time.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lamine Isaac, and I'm the branch manager at the Bacon Library. I just come to greet you all, wish you all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. We're going to be celebrating on Saturday, May 12th, from 11 until 4:30 p.m. We're going to have our second annual Mama-thon event, and it is a thon. There will be lots of free activities and events, from make-good tutorials to massage therapy, physical therapy, product making, all sorts of things happen at the Bacon Library. It's all free. Another program we have in celebration of Mother's Day will be the following Wednesday on May the 16th at 6:30. We'll be having 2 local authors come in and speak about their experiences writing books. I have a flyer outside. I'm sorry I didn't bring it up. And I also just wanted to talk about Brooklyn Public Library celebrating Older Adults Month. It's May, and we're going to be celebrating in conjunction with the Administration on Aging. And this year's theme is Aging, Engaging at Every Age, and emphasize that you're never too old to have a good time. So please join the library as well as Eric Adams' office as they host the 3rd annual month of celebration, May 16th at
209 Gerald Street in Brooklyn. Also, the library is asking for money again with our city council. If you visit the library website, investinlibraries.org, you can send a letter to the mayor and their local city council members and ask them to support the library and give us much needed funding. Brooklyn Public Library is asking for $20 million of a $60 million ask for all 3 library systems to help with capital needs. And Brooklyn Public Library is also asking for $4.5 million to help with much needed services, resources, books, and programs. Thank you so much and have a good evening.
Thank you. Please call mine.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Fabrice Harman, and I'm the Director of Strategic Partnership and Community Engagement for the Department of Correction. I would like to first actually thank the Chair and the District Manager for allowing me to be able to speak to you. I just have a couple of quick announcements just to let you know that currently we are administering exam number 8334, which is being held from May 1st to May 31st. So if you know of any individuals that are currently looking for employment and would like to be part of the criminal justice family, this is a great opportunity for them because starting salaries for correction officers beginning at $44,000, and then after 5.5 years, base salary is $95,000. So if you know of any individuals that are currently looking, definitely a great opportunity for them. The other thing that I would like to point out to you is that most of the time when people think about the Department of Correction, they solely think of the uniform positions. They don't think of the non-uniform positions. We currently have a lot of non-uniform positions currently available at the Department of Correction, and they range from attorneys to legal coordinators to psychologists to bakers and so forth. So if you know of any current individuals that are unemployed and are searching and would like to actually find a place of employment, they can actually go to www.jointheboldest.com. The website again is www.jointheboldest.com, or they can actually email us once they see something that they like at theboldest, THEBOLDEST @doc.nyc.gov. I'll repeat that one more time. It's THEBOLDEST@doc.nyc.gov. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, again, if you could please be ready, keep your remarks to 2 minutes. Nick Perry, be followed by Reverend Ebenezer Duval, Sherry Davis, and Wayne Devens.
Good evening, Community Board 3. My name is Nicholas Perry, and I'm a representative for the New York City Comptroller, Scott M. Stringer. Tonight, I brought you some information about the Federal Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and the impact that it will have on nonprofit organizations. Now, nonprofit organizations are a vital part of the city's communities and economies, providing key religious, cultural, medical, and social services that would often go unfilled in their absence or conducted at a higher cost. According to the most recent statistics, the nonprofit sector has provided nearly 1.3 million jobs across New York State, and more than half of these jobs are estimated to be located in New York City. While much of the focus on federal tax cuts and Jobs Act has been directed to impact on individuals and for-profit corporations, this act contains several provisions that could adversely affect the finances of nonprofit organizations. The impact of the TCJA impacting not-for-profits include reduced tax incentives for charitable giving, increased taxation of businesses such as shops and cafes that nonprofits commonly use as a source of revenue, and the imposition of an excise tax on certain university endowments. To get more information on this report or any other report from the New York City Comptroller's Office, please feel free to visit our website, www.comptroller.nyc.gov. You can always contact me directly. My name is Nicholas Perry, and my direct number is 212-669-3811. I I brought a limited number of copies of this report, but if you are interested, just wave me and I'll make sure I get one to you. Thank you.
Thanks, I'll take the time.
Thank you, Chair, and everyone here who has allowed me to make this announcement. Good evening, everybody. My name is Pastor Ebenezer Duku from John Wesley United Methodist Church. We are located at the corner of North Strand and Quincy. The truth of the matter is that we have an old parsonage, a little building that was the church wanted to sell, but what happened is that they managed to sell it at a time when there was no pastor, gave any price they wanted, they didn't go to the Attorney General for approval, and only one person signed plus many other things. The judge ruled against us. As far as we are still litigating, they now want to pull the property down. And so it's so sad, like it's a Calvary justice. We need all the support we can, and if you have to sign petition for us to send it to elected officials, whatever it is you think you can help us. We are part of the community, so help us. God bless you all.
Thank you, Reverend. I guess Sherry Davis, you want to acknowledge? If you want to speak, Sherry Davis.
Good evening, I'm Sherry Davis from Woodlawn Hospital, community coordinator. I see a lot of my friends here that I worked with over the years, so I'm just here to give you some more information on what Woodlawn offers and to let you know that we're the first hospital for baby friendly. That's it.
All right, thank you. Wayne Devonish, followed by Stephanie Zimmerman. And then Dr. Kim Bassett, you want to say anything?
Yes, the Conservancy of Von King Park, which is the biggest park right here in Bedford, Stuyvesant, and we had the amazing luck to get a grant to have some art put in my Uniqlo. We had a grant for 2 years, and we were lucky to have the artists that won the grant, each $10,000 to be local artists. And this year's award recipient is Roberto Masani, who's going to give a brief presentation about where this art is going to be, and definitely just give him a little round of applause.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. They asked me to put some images together to explain what I'm going to be doing in the park. The sculpture should go up the end of June, beginning of July. I'm currently building it now. This is a rendering of the image in the park, not the actual sculpture, but a digital rendering. So just to give you a little bit of background where this came from, as an artist, I'm a student of art history. And if you look at the history of sculpture, you notice that there's certain time periods where the human form is represented in a very kind of idealized, standardized way. So you see two examples here. This sculpture from medieval times of 4 Roman emperors, and on the right, this Egyptian relief sculpture. And you notice all the figures look pretty much the same. You can contrast this with like an image of Michelangelo's David or an image of Abraham Lincoln, where the individual features of a particular person are described. So again, two idealized figures. And as these figures are idealized, there's a mathematical thing that takes place. So you see 2 examples of that, the Egyptian figures on the left and the Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man on the right, where the proportions are broken up in terms of mathematics. Okay, so I guess my time is up. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to come and ask them.
Thank you, Roberto. Stephanie Zimmerman, followed by Dr. Kim Bass, followed by David Fisher.
Good evening. Good evening to the best volunteers in the best borough in the city City of New York. I'm wearing a couple of hats this evening. The first thing I want to talk about is a friendly neighborhood. As you know, 62-year-old group meets every second Tuesday of the month at Quincy. We have an event coming up, it's Generational Fairs, the third year in a row. It's going to be right here at Marcy Plaza next month. But I want to talk about an action that's going to happen on Wednesday. We're getting on the bus right outside of Restoration Plaza at 9 a.m. to go to City Hall for Senior Advocacy Day, because as you know, seniors are being displaced. The medical coverage isn't what it's supposed to be, especially for dental care. There are a number of senior issues that we would like you all to champion. So if you're 62 and older, you can get on the bus for free, 9 a.m. right outside here at Restoration Plaza. Second thing I want to talk about is my hat is Boys and Girls High School Advisory Committee and the Brooklyn NAACP are having an action on Monday, May 21st, 1 p.m. at City Hall. There are a number of issues with our local schools that we need to address. Could you please take off your lunch hour and come over to City Hall and help us talk about the cap at Boys and Girls High School. Every school should only have 15% of their student body as level 1. We're at 38% at Boys and Girls High School. They cannot get off the renewal list if they continue to enroll students who have not received the best education they could have from other schools. We also want to talk about co-locating babies in the schools with adults. We have to stop that practice. We need your voice in order to talk about that. A number of our students are homeless, especially our high school students. So we need the mayor to put some resources behind that. And finally, we need to fully fund specialized programs. You can't tell us you're giving us CTE and gifted programs and not fund them. So please, please, please come out, help us protest on Monday, May 21st at 1 p.m.
Thank you. It's going to be Dr. Best, followed by Daniel Fisher, and then Karen Shepard.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to tell you that our next precinct council meeting will be on May 23rd. That's the fourth Wednesday. May happens to have 5 Wednesdays, but ours is on the fourth Wednesday. And the meeting is held at Brooklyn Job Corps, 585 DeKalb Avenue. 7 o'clock, show. I like to start my meetings on time, and I like for them to end on time. In addition to that, this year we're doing a dinner dance, black and white. Anyone interested in attending the dinner dance, it's very affordable, it's $50. And we will be doing some honoring of some people in our community as well. And also, if you remember those people who've been around a long time, Detective David Allen, we used to do those dances many, many years. So now we're going back, not to the Detective David Allen dinner dance, but we're doing a black and white this year. So come out. If you need tickets, you can contact the precinct at 718-636-6626, but you must wear black and white. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? All right, very good. I'm Daniel Fisher, the president of the English Precinct Community Council. It's so nice to see so many faces here tonight. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I say that because we just also had our pre-Mother's Day breakfast this past Saturday at Sugar Hill. We had a wonderful time, a lovely event. Next year I want to see more of you ladies and gentlemen out there because it was a great time. The food was terrific and the entertainment was great. So we're going to mark it on your calendars, our pre-Mother's Day breakfast next year. I want to mention that our general meeting will be tomorrow night, Tuesday, the 7th? No, today's the 7th. At the Multi-Service Center on Fulton Street. The address is 1958 Fulton Street between Ralph and Howard Avenue. So our meetings are at 7 p.m. We do start at about 7:10. So I'm just keeping it real. All right? But come on by, there will be a seat waiting for you. I also want to mention that the Multi-Service Center is having their Neighborhood Health Day on Saturday, June 9th. And the 81st Precinct Community Council will be a part of that event. It will be held in the outdoor space in their backyard. So we'll be out there with our flyers and information, and also several representatives from the 81st Precinct will be there. I believe the domestic violence unit has already signed on to be there, and a few others. So come to the meeting and find out who all will be there. But again, I just want to say, we're also preparing for our election. So if you are a regular member who comes to our meetings, it's time for an election. So come on out. I am running again for president, so I need your vote. And I hope to see all of you tomorrow night. Thank you very much.
That's all I have is 2 minutes. Good evening, I bring you greetings on behalf of Assemblyman Eric DeLon, and for all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. Have a good evening.
We got to move on to the next part of our agenda, which is going to be district manager's report.
We'll do it in 2 minutes. So real quick, Wednesday, May 16th, we're having our city agency town hall. This is how the flyer looks. Please let your neighbors know about it, let everyone know about it. The agencies will be Department of Buildings, Department of Environmental Protection, and Department of Transportation. Topics of discussions will be construction permits, illegal and legal construction, noise complaints, water and sewer lines, rain gardens, street infrastructure, pedestrian safety, motorists and parking. That's going to take place here at Restoration upstairs in the multi-purpose building, starting at 6:30 p.m. So please spread the word. These are the 3 agencies that we get the most complaints from, well, next to the post office. These are the 3 after the post office that we get the most complaints from. Next up, the Marcy Plaza located upstairs. They are going to be having DOT signage up there, so I recommend this Thursday. So I recommend those who like to hang out and use the Marcy Plaza facility, please, when the signage goes up, make sure you read the rules and regulations for being in that Marcy Plaza. If you go to our website, the capital and expense budget, the executive budget was released in last month by the mayor's office. You can find that on our website. The executive budget, the final budget will be done sometime in June. So right now it's budget negotiations between the mayor and the city council. At the Borough Service Cabinet meeting, that's our monthly meeting at Borough Hall that the district managers have. There was a presentation by the Brooklyn Public Library with all of the library outreach services. That flyer is blue, it's outside. I'm not going to go over it. You can go and get the flyers, blue is right outside on the table. Also, the borough president did a parks report on all the parks in Brooklyn. So you can go to the borough president's website and find that report. This Wednesday at the Alliance meeting, at the Bed-Stuy Works Alliance of Block and Tenant Association, the guest panelist is actually the community board. We are the guest panelists. I recommend everyone, if you can, attend this meeting so you can find out exactly the responsibilities of the community board. According to the New York City Charter, what are the rules and regulations for the New York City Community Board? What are we responsible for? That flyer is also in the package if you picked it up, and it looks like this. That's this Saturday the 12th. The Alliance meeting started at 9:30 a.m. And the last announcement, very important, where's my flyer? Next month's meeting, which is June 4th, will not be here. Will not be here. It's going to take place Greater St. Stephen's United Church of God, 874 Myrtle Avenue, between Marcy and Tompkins Avenue. That's where next month's June 4th meeting will take place. This is the flyer. So, June 4th, please no one call me and say, where are you guys at? Because y'all gonna be down here and we're gonna be down on the north end of the district. So remember, next month's meeting takes place at the St. Stephen's Church, 874 Myrtle Avenue, between Tompkins and Marcy Avenue. I'll be around if anyone has any questions about concerns and issues you may have taken place on your block or in your area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to move on to our informational presentation. So, the chair for the education committee is not here, so I'm going to ask the vice chair, Alicia Alexander, to introduce this first informational presentation.
Good afternoon. Good evening. We have an informational presentation from she's not the principal yet. They call her the acting CEO, project manager of a new middle school being opened in District 16. It will be opened in it will be opened in PS 335. It is MS 664. Yes, MS 664, tentatively entitled the BklynBridges School. The presentation is to be made by Ms. Marcella Carr. I'm not sure if she's here.
Carr? Calling once? Twice?
Well, she's
Carr?
not here at the moment, so
okay.
Hopefully we'll get her next one. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next informational presentation coming from the senior committee. And that's, the presentation is going to be introduced by the chair, Dr. Kimball.
Okay, good evening again. Is Ms. King here? Okay, I want to introduce you to Ms. King. She is the Center Director of the Maria Lawton Senior Neighborhood Center. And she's here to give us an informational presentation on what resources that they offer. Thank you. Greetings everyone, happy Monday. I'm probably gonna break this all down in you in 4 minutes. So, happy Monday everyone, how are we all doing? I am the President Program Manager of Maria Lawton Neighborhood Senior Center. We are located at 400 Hart Street. We are inside the Roosevelt Housing Development. Now, how many of you know, I hear the but wherever you bring your light shines, right? Okay. So with that being said, how many of you know that Maria Lawton is actually the oldest senior center in Brooklyn, New York? We are about to celebrate 67 years as of November 2018. So our program, we provide congregate meals, we provide recreational services, we provide a lot of fun. It's a good place to come and hang out. At Maria Lawton, we believe we're family, right? So our center is open from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. At the front, I did bring some material. So, let's show you how to find it. So, I'm just going to hold this up. This is our present program calendar for the month of May. So we have some interesting things going on. We have a Woman in White event. We have a pre-Mother's Day celebration. They are going to Sight and Sound on Wednesday, amongst many other things that are going on. In addition, we have our annual spring fling. Turned down for what? So, when you come to the spring fling, come with cash in your hand. Because you may walk away with plants, you may walk away with gifts, you may walk away with jewelry. You know, I'm not showcasing the jewelry today, but our seniors are excellent bead makers. So, the spring fling, that information is also in the flyer packet. The spring fling is on the 18th. It is from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And then last but not least is our program flyer. I know that one of it says transportation is provided, but this is a blanket flyer for all of our Fort Greene Council sites because we are sponsored by Fort Greene Council. So for our particular site, transportation is not provided. So if you have any information, any questions, is that 4 minutes? If you have any questions, 718-452-7465. 7474. Again, 718-452-7474. And my name is Ms. King.
Thank you.
Moving on to the public hearing portion of the agenda. So we have 4 public hearings tonight. First public hearing is coming from the Housing and Land Use Committee, and the agenda item will be introduced by the chair of that committee, C. Doris Penn.
Application submitted by the Administration for Children's Services and the Department for Citywide Administrative Services. It's to acquire property located at 265 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. That's a daycare center. And what they wish to do is to renew the lease at that particular center. Okay, Mr. Robinson.
Chair, District Manager, members of the board, members of the public, good evening. My name is Kenneth Robinson. I'm with the General Counsel's Office of ACS, and we're here to ask the board's approval of our application to have a new lease approved. This is a difference between a renewal lease, because a renewal lease is, as a matter of right, is a period of approval, etc. Anyway, as you guys probably know, we've been in this location since we and our predecessors since 1971, and currently it's run by Lutheran Social Services. It provides child care center for young people in the neighborhood whose parents meet the criteria. Those criteria are the family has to be within 200% of the federal poverty line, and they have to have a legitimate purpose in having child care. Those include working, going to school or being trained for work, 6 months of looking for work, or not having a permanent home. And at this point, we're asking for approval to keep this facility, which has served the community for many, many years, in place. Right now, we're budgeted for 69 preschoolers, and we have like 91% enrolled as of now. I'll take questions, and questions I can answer, hopefully Ms. Bedard can.
Okay, any questions from the board members or public? Okay, we have one question from the board member. Need a mic. And if you could please give your name, we ask the question.
My name is T.J. Wilson. I'm confused. What are you asking for?
We're asking that a new lease be negotiated, be approved by the board. Yes, it's a new lease for the same site.
It's the same operator?
At this point, yes, same operator.
Any other questions?
Pardon me, board member. I'm more confused now. If this is the city,
yes,
and you have the property, and I'm quite sure you own the building underneath.
We rent it.
Oh, you rent it?
That's why we need a new lease.
So you're asking us, give you approval to get a new lease?
Right.
Okay, so in other words, you have to come to us to get a new lease. They won't give this through
It has to go, it
lease.
has to go through the whole land review process.
You're requesting a letter of support.
Right.
Okay.
For the release.
Letter of support.
Any other questions?
Ready to put them.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tyrese Vidriarte. I feel like I'm asking the same thing that TJ Mr. Hardy asked. But who is acquiring, so the city actually has the property currently, because it says acquisition. So acquisition of the property meaning that they want to acquire it if BklynBridges is not renewed?
No. Acquisition in Euler land use language means having control of it. It could be, it would be a lease. The city would be leasing it from the owner.
Okay, city is leasing it on behalf of the daycare, the child center?
The city is leasing it on behalf of ACS. ACS contracts with the provider.
Okay, I needed more context.
Okay,
because I was-
okay, help you out with that.
So who had control of the property?
Okay. It is
So the city has control as we speak?
Right. And it's leasing it, it was leasing it to the landlord until the lease ran out. And then the time of approval expired, so we have to have a new request for a new lease.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from board members or the public?
I got a public over here.
One question, yes.
Is there possible?
If you can give your name.
Oh, hi, Bridget Parish. Yes, is it just possible, maybe we can review the prior lease to make sure that the terminology is not going to change. So,
I'll defer to our lease person, Mr. Miller. Well, not lease person, lease enforcement.
But DCAS, on behalf of ACS, are the people that will negotiate the lease with the landlord.
Yes.
So you have a team of, you have a team of experts that do this. We're facility people, Mr. Robinson. It's not that I don't know.
Okay, there's another question from a board member.
Hi, Dr. Deborah Land. I'm concerned about the actual language that is on this, for this public hearing. You're talking about a lease.
Yes.
But this says for the acquisition of property.
Okay, to explain.
And that is very concerning that you're talking about a lease, but this says acquisition.
Acquisition in land use language includes lease. At this point, we are, acquisition in land use language includes leasing property, what we're doing, and what's proposed is a 20-year term for the new lease.
Does not mean buying.
It does not necessarily buying, we're not.
Okay, any other questions from the board or from members of the public? Okay, if not, I'm going to close the hearing. Thank you very much. We'll be taking a vote on the action on the call. Thank you. We're going to move on to our next public hearing. And we're going to be 3 coming from the Economic Development Committee. So I'm going to ask the chair for the Economic Development Committee, Mr. Taiwan Anthony, can introduce the next public hearing.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So tonight we have one alcohol beverage control license application for Finger Lakes Brooklyn Cafe Corp. We'll be doing business as Finger Lakes Burgers and Wings. They are located at 990 Broadway, and that is between Vernon Avenue and Willoughby. And a site inspection was conducted April 20th at that location. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Chairperson Plateau,
Good evening, Chairperson Anthony and District Manager Butler. Thank you so much for having us this evening. My name is Anthony Caraballo. I'm the representative for these gentlemen. Right now we have Victor De La Cruz is the chef of the establishment, and Coela Melton will be the manager of the establishment. The owner could not be here. He has a young child, a young son, and he had a commitment, a prior commitment tonight. So that's why his name is Carlos Camilo. He's not here tonight. So we can go through the PowerPoint. My clients met with the Economic Development Committee on April 5th. Upon information and belief, I think we were very well received. We followed all the necessary protocol. We submitted the 25 necessary signatures and the letters. What I would want to acknowledge, thank you so much. What I would want to impart upon the committee and board members and community members is there's been a liquor license establishment for almost 20 years, different establishments. So we're not bringing a new license to the community. So having said that, we'll go over some of the components of the presentation. So the owner is Carlos Camilo, which I mentioned. You know the address. Chairperson Anthony mentioned all specifics on that. There was a security plan prior. Can we take a peek at the last document? Great. There's a supervision plan which will be submitted to the State Liquor Authority. All staff will be properly trained to obtain correct legal identification of patrons ordering any alcoholic beverages. All staff will be properly trained to identify the patrons visibly intoxicated and therefore can no longer be served. There are staff members responsible to consistently monitor the exterior of the premises, interior of the premises, that's a typo, sorry, to make sure there's no disturbances to neighbors upon entrance and people entering the premises and leaving the premises. And there'll be a camera system. There's actually 18 cameras that's been updated. These are just components of the application. Again, the specifics. These are the signature pages we obtained. 25 required signatures. These are the letters from the community that are required in the packet, which were submitted, 2 required letters. This is a diagram of the premises. That's the first floor. That's the basement. Pictures of the outside. Some pictures of the inside. That's the menu. There's also been some additional items added to the menu. If there's any questions pertaining to the menu, Chef De La Cruz can certainly address those. So in addition to these items, there are some more items for the menu. Just some pictures of the foods. Okay, great. So just want to, before we'll address any questions, and again, thank you so much for your time. Brigadier De La Cruz has 14 years experience in the industry as a chef and managing establishments. Mr. Milton has been in management for the last 2 years, so they both have extensive experience. Again, there has been a liquor license at this establishment for almost 20 years with different owners, so we're not bringing a new liquor license to your area. There's a precedent. There's already been a license there. There's a lot of vacancies on that block, so we feel this place closed down also, and they took it over, so we feel that there'll be a credit and a benefit to the neighborhood. It's our opinion. So again, thank you so much for having us, and we would address any questions if you have.
Thank you. Is this a transfer or a new license?
No, it's a brand new license.
New license. Thank you. Okay, any questions from the board or members of the public? Hold on, wait till you get a mic, and please give me your name.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, I'm always concerned
What's your
about...
name, ma'am?
Oh, my name is Carol in Richburg. I'm always concerned about businesses coming into the community. As you can see, our community is all new and everything looks nice and good. But I'm concerned about young people having jobs. Can you kind of address that?
Well, so I could pass to Victor, but there'll be 10 employees, so there's planning to be 4 people in the kitchen and another 6 outside, and the plan is certainly to hire locally. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Actually, right now we have a sign. We need help. If you guys didn't know anybody for the front of the house, and for the front of the house, back of the house, we want to after school. We open for all of that. So right now we need help, about 2 or 3 people. You can come up to our location. If not, you can call me 347-583-4842. Once again, 347-583-4842, and that will be direct to me.
And then, I'm sorry, just to add a quick note to that, just know that the Economic Development Committee, we also have a relationship with Jobs Plus. So right now, which is a program, a part of Restoration Plaza. So what we're in the process of doing is, the question that you just asked, connecting capable, certified individuals in the community that need jobs to the small businesses that come to our community board as well. So I know a lot of you guys talk about jobs.
Something else, so also I want to let you guys know, we have an extra space in the basement that we go on any type of meeting. It's very, I mean, yeah, you can have any type of meeting. We open for anything.
Okay, other questions from the board? Members of the public. Okay, we have a board member that has a question.
Just curious,
Hold on to the mic. And thank you.
Hi, Simo Pratt. I was curious, above the establishment, is that residential? What is above it?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess you've done all the right precautions to discuss with the people above in terms of like the hours. Did you say what the hours of operation would be?
Yeah, the hours I can clarify. So the hours actually have been modified since they met with the committee on April 5th, for the better in terms of being open for lunch. Originally they were going to open at 4 o'clock. Now they're going to open at 11, and they're going to have lunch. They'll be starting that over 1 to 2 weeks. And then they're closing at midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, and then 4 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just those days. And just again, the prior operators, I believe, had 4 a.m. 7 days a week. So they won't be any. They're going to close midnight most of the days, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday they're closing on the later side.
Okay, are there any other questions from the board or members of the public? Okay, we have one more question.
Opportunity out the way. What is the seating capacity and how late will the kitchen be open?
So good question. So it's 15 tables with 34 seats, and there'll be 12 seats at the bar. Traditionally, establishments will check the victor, keep the kitchen open an hour before closing. Will that be, so the kitchen will be open an hour before closing.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, now I'm going to close the public hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Our next public hearing again is from the Economic Development Committee. It's the time I continue to introduce the next agenda item.
Hello, good evening again. So the next presentation is for a sidewalk cafe application. So this is not a liquor license application. This is to have sidewalk seating. The sidewalk cafe application for Strazu LLC, doing business as Fermento, located at 358 Kosciuszko Street, corner of Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Actually, I don't think they're here tonight, so we will move on.
Okay.
All right, so moving on, we have another sidewalk application. And again, keeping in mind, this is not for alcoholic beverage license. This is for a sidewalk cafe only. Sidewalk cafe application for Pilar Cuban Restaurant, IMC, doing business as Pilar Cuban Eatery. And they are located at the corner at 397 Green Avenue. That's the corner of Bedford. The presentation is given by the owner, Ricardo.
Good evening, everybody. Hi. Thank you for having me. We opened the bar in 2009, so it's going to be 10 years. I'm the chef and owner. We opened a tiny, tiny spot right on the corner of Class and Green, literally 380 square feet in 2009. And in that little space, we got a nice following and we were quite successful. Obviously, it was very small. We moved in 2015 to a much nicer space that actually had a bathroom for customers. This is an important thing. Very nice bar, it has a very nice feel. It's on the corner of Bedford and Green. And in 2016, we applied for the sidewalk permit and we received it. We'll one more day. So now we are a full-service restaurant. We have liquor license, cocktails, beer, wine. Most importantly, it's a restaurant. First and foremost, in 2017, we won Best Style Restaurant by Time Out. We were featured in What's in Harlem, even though we're not in Harlem, and top 6 Latin restaurants by Brooklyn Magazine, so it's really all about the food. Next one, please. So our outside seating, so to be clear, we received the sidewalk permit in 2016, and we ran it successfully. Unfortunately, sometimes managers don't do what they're supposed to do, and she did not renew it in time. Because of that, we have to reapply, and that's why we're here. But we did get the sidewalk permit. One more, please. This is a diagram that was, we submitted 2 years ago. Originally, we wanted 8 tables and 16 seats. There was a problem with one table because the tree pit right us. So if you look at, there's a door on the corner up there, and then there's a door right near the bottom. We want to put seating there, but the tree pit didn't allow for the required space, so the 9 feet. So we took that table out. We were left with 7 tables and 14 seats. Okay, one more. And that's just the frontage, little more. So this is the area where the seating is. Where that door is, that's where the other table is going to be behind that door. But as you notice, it would have conflicted with a tree pit, so we took that table out of the plans. Okay, those are tree kind of planters, and then we use ropes, and then we have also it's under 30 inches. We also have wheels, so we will walk in the night. Okay, one more. Another view of the sidewalk. It's very wide, a lot of space. I will say that when we had the outside seating, we really never had a problem with any kind of congestion. It was actually people felt it was a really nice vibe. There's a lot of people enjoying themselves. We have some bamboo trees, and we do the flowers in the tree pits. One more, it's just another shot. Okay, so that's the original license that we were approved with. As you'll see, it has 7 tables and 14 chairs. Okay, one more. That's the last slide. That's the last slide. Okay. So basically, what we're doing is we're reapplying. We got approved before. That's why we're here today. If you have any questions,
Thank you for the presentation. Are there any questions from the board members or?
Good evening, Bob. I live on Green Avenue between Bedford and Ellsbury. Point of clarification, have you gotten block association support from that block or a adjoining block association? And the second question is, are you applying for the 7 seats or are there additional seating being added to this?
No, it's going to be exactly the same. The 7 seats. As part of the process for receiving the permit, we had to get certified letters from everybody on that block.
Understood. And back to my first question, have you gotten block association support?
Not officially. I mean, I work with the block association. We contribute every year to their party. They come and eat in our establishment. I know the president.
No, understood. I live on the next block. I love the establishment. I've gone there. It's been a great experience for me. I just wanted those questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah. TJ Wilson. Yeah. Don't you already have seating out there? Because that's the old picture, Don't you have seating? Because I pass there all the time.
Right, what happened was that my manager did not renew in time, so we passed the deadline. So the rule for the Department of Consumer Affairs is that if you don't renew in time, you have to do the whole thing over again.
Right, so in the meantime, should you be having it out?
Should we what?
Should the people be sitting out there?
There's nobody out there. It hasn't been since last year.
No.
Yeah, there's no one out there, there's no one out there.
No.
Yeah, because I've seen, I pass by there all the time.
No, we haven't we haven't put a table out there since last year. Honestly. I wouldn't risk it.
And also,
I mean, we had beautiful weather a few days ago, and I didn't have tables out there.
and is liquor being served out there? Do you serve
Yeah.
liquor out there?
Yeah.
Is that, could you tell us, isn't that a separate licensing or something for that?
Yeah, so just for clarification, the SOA, so the sidewalk cafes is from DCA, that's from the Department of Consumer Affairs. So the liquor license, that's from the SOA, those are two separate processes. So right now, the three main categories as far as having the sidewalk cafe are the structures have to be easily removable, no larger than 30 inches, and they have to be self-supporting. So those are the three main criteria when looking at the sidewalk cafes that the committee takes into consideration.
So I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Have you operated outside since your license has been revoked?
Absolutely not.
Understand?
Absolutely not.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, you have a community member that has a question.
Good evening, Carolyn Richburg again. How many people from the community do you employ presently?
I would say probably the majority. When we have a job opening, we post it on the windows, we post it in our board sometimes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. But how many people do you have as employees in your business now from the community?
From the community,
You're not, who you trying to get?
probably 70%. Yeah. I mean, it's also a benefit for us to have people that live in the community, they know,
Yeah, but could you actually give us a number? You have 10 people from the community?
I don't know everybody's address. I mean, I would say, I would say more than half of the people that work for me live in the community. We have 30 employees, so I would say at least 15 to 20.
Any other questions?
Okay, if there are no other questions, we're going to close this public hearing. Thank you very much. We're going to move to the next part of our agenda, which is going to be community announcements. And if you could please be ready in this order and do your announcement in 2 minutes or less. Stephanie Zimmerman, Leanne Isaac, and Naila Mann, Brooklyn Public Library. Are they still here?
Yes.
Bridget Parrish, Valerie Watts, Oma Holloway, and who is Garfield Block? Who is that? Okay, all right, please, in that order.
Is Zimmerman here?
Okay, we're gonna go to Lamine Isaac.
So Lamine left, that's the branch for, I think, about last year. And that's when they let you guys what we're doing this year. So we have a mama-thon next weekend. We have a woman named Regina Cosiera, I think I pronounced her last name, from the doula program that's sponsored by the city of New York, speaking about Black maternal health. That's going to be this Saturday coming up from 12 to 4:30. And she'll be speaking at 2 o'clock with, well, a lot of good information for all mothers, not just Black mothers, but for all mothers. And then on May 17th, we have Monique Greenwood and her daughter Nicole from the Bed and Breakfast. I can't pronounce it. Abola, there we go. Abola. She's going to be doing our first bedside neighborhood series, and I would love everyone to come out. We also need to have, we're scheduling our neighborhood series every month to feature a prominent person in the community. We're going to be recording it for our podcast series celebrating the history of Bedford Stuyvesant. So if anyone, I'm looking for, how should I say, some seniors in the neighborhood, people who have been here for generations upon generations upon generations, that can share their stories, sort of NPR style. So if anyone is interested or knows an organization that's interested, please reach out to us at the library. You can stop in, leave a name, let me know. And then in June, we're having an ice cream fest for families, and it's kicking off summer reading. And then in Halloween, it's a big deal. You guys are gonna get more information about this. In Cleveland, they block off the streets for that Halloween festival. So we're gonna do that here. But it's not gonna be as large as it is over there. That is kind of overwhelming for us right now. However, it's gonna start at the Bacon Library, and we'd like to be a part of the candy fest. That's beautiful. Okay, my time's up. All right, and also our African American Heritage Room, we need you guys to donate, please. Donate money, donate books, donate artifacts. Check, I'll post them on community boards.
I'm Stephanie Zimmerman.
Good evening. I want to ask you all to become more engaged in your community than you already are. And I know for the people in this room that you may think it's kind of hard because you're already very engaged, you're here to after 8 o'clock, but it's very, very important. This is an election year. We have 3 elections: June 26th primary, September 13th primary, and the general election in November. This year, we are recruiting members to run for county committee. In the 56 council district, there are 92 election districts. Do you know what those things are? It's a little radius around your block. And we need 2 to 4 people from each one of those EDs to run for county committee. And because you are the most engaged people in the 56 Assembly District, we need you to consider this request. So please, please, please come out on May 19th. May 19th from 9 to 12, we are going to be giving an orientation and signing people up for county committee. If you are organized, if you are engaged, if you want to become more engaged in the electoral process and be a leader in your community, specifically for your block and the blocks next to you, we ask that you consider to become a county committee member and run and make sure that judges who come here and other elected officials are people who really represent our community. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you on May 19th.
Bethany Baptist Church, 460 Marcus Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's going to be on Saturday, May 19th, 10 a.m., Bethany Baptist Church, which is 460 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Hope to see you all out. Thank you.
Bridget Parrish. Bridget Parrish. Okay. Very well. Business and Professional Women Corps Dream Big Brunch, Valerie Watts.
Hello everyone, my name is Valerie Watts, and on May 20th at Borough Hall in Brooklyn from 1:30 to 5:30, we will have our 6th annual Dream Big Brunch. This brunch is for business and professional women. It's a wonderful networking opportunity for like-minded women who are currently in business or want to pursue entrepreneurship. We invite you to come, but first of all, you need to register. We disseminated information about the program. We have very interesting women who have attended and will attend our event. For example, one of the speakers is the first female district attorney out of the Bronx. We have a 91-year-old physician who is still practicing who will be at the event, and many, many more. So I disseminated flyers. We have a website. We've been doing this for 6 years. The first year, it was in my condo that had 40 women. 2 years ago, the borough president came to one of the events and said, Valerie, we're going to fund you. And why don't you come to Borough Hall? So we've gone from 40 women to about 200 women in 6 years. So please come. It is very interesting. The food is good, the music is good, and the networking is awesome. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Oma Holloway from the Bridge Street Development Corporation, and she gets about 2.5 minutes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I was a little bit late, so I didn't make announcements earlier. But I'm representing Bridge Street Development Corporation. I'm the Director of Community Engagement. We have quite a few things coming up, so I'm going to be as quick as possible since I only have 30 seconds extra. Okay, we had a wonderful flower bed side. Anybody see all the flowers or participated? We had about 30 block and tenant associations, over 30 block and tenant associations. So if you missed it, you gotta come around next year, but you will see pictures around, get on our Facebook page. But it was a lot of fun, and I want to thank all the block and tenant associations who participated, who actually helped plan it. We have another meeting coming up on this Saturday. It's Saturday at 9 o'clock at Quincy Senior Residences. It will actually be about the role of the community board. And so we will have some of our distinguished chairs who will be on the panel to kind of give advice to block and tenant associations as to how the community board can support you. On May 22nd, we have a young adult internship, employment, and resource fair. This is for you to bring all of your young people between the ages of 14 and 24. Don't just have them call me. Please have them come to Restoration from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We will have employers, internship programs, education programs, different things that they can get involved with if you're looking for the summer and beyond. So please bring your young people out to that. That's in partnership with Restoration. On May 10th, we have free lawyers on site from 4 p.m. to 6:30 at Bridge Street Development Corporation. We take walk-ins if you are facing eviction or you're having problems with your landlord. Please come for this clinic, and we will have lawyers on site. And there will be an elder abuse training on May 15th. If you are a professional or someone working with older adults, there will be a training about elder abuse, and that will be at Quincy Senior Residences at 625 Quincy. And also we have members of the Tompkins Avenue Merchant Association. Some of our businesses on Tompkins Avenue is part of Bridge Street, so they're here, and we're getting prepared for TAMA. The Tisha Mary, who is the president, and some of our meat market, Bush juice, and brown butter. They are all businesses on Tompkins. Please patronize them. And we are planning for a TAMA Summer Festival, which will be in July and August, so stay tuned. Thank you. Bridget Parrish, okay, let's get it again. Okay, Monica Sebring,
of Ignite National Program Coordinator.
Hello everyone, I'm here to share some information for how to engage more young women and the community board as well as civically active young women in New York City. I work with a national organization called Ignite, training young women to run for office and get civically active. We started working in New York in 2016, and we realized, and you can see around the community board here, we don't have young women aged 14 to 24 active in the community boards. We have been very successful in getting them engaged in the Bronx, and now we're in Brooklyn. I have a flyer outside, but also I heard what you were talking about. And how do we engage more young women with opportunities that pay off what they're investing in terms of financial resources? And so we have a fellowship that pays a very generous stipend of $10K. We also give them monthly metro cards because we understand what it's like to live in New York City. That program also gives them stipends for food, so if they are commuting, if they're engaging with young women across the 5 boroughs, we are paying to make sure that they are healthy, paying their transportation, and also giving them a national network. We do also have a conference in DC where these young women who are active in their communities get to communicate and get civically active with young women that are in other states to see what it's like to be working in different communities that are not necessarily just in New York City. So please reach out to me. We have a lot of resources. Our flyer is outside, and we want to get more young women active. And we do have the money to give them on help with scholarships. So please reach out. We're really excited to be working out in Brooklyn. Thank you.
Rep your block, Sage Rockman.
Hi everyone, my name is Sage. I'm with a campaign called Rep Your Block. And I actually really want to echo what Stephanie said, that it's so important that we get more people in this community, but also more people all across Brooklyn to run for county committee. The Democratic County Committee is the most local level of the Democratic Party. And there's about 5,000 members across Brooklyn, 5,000 seats. But right now, a lot of those seats do go empty. And so that means that, we're not having our say. So the Democratic County Committee can do things like help choose the nominee when there's special elections, and actually that's about a third of legislators in New York were originally elected in a special election, so that's very important. Rep Your Block is a campaign that helps people run for county committee, teaches you how to petition, gets you all set up, and will file your petitions as well. And so I encourage you to sign up, repyourblock.com, and we can talk to you more about how to do that and get you running for county committee. It just takes a few signatures of your neighbors. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Tunde Akaway.
Present.
Felicia Alexander.
Present.
Taiwan Anthony. Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Guzera. Ivy Gamble Cobb. Evelyn Collier. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle. Taina Evans is excused. Mark Purcell. Richard Plateau. Sharon Ford. Pete Forrest. Gregory Glasgow. Shea Greenfeld. Mary James Head. Kimberly Hill. Oma Holloway. Everett Hughes. Teresa Uriarte.
Here.
Edna Johnson. Dr. Carlene Johnson is excused. Dr. Deborah Lamb. Marion Little is excused. Dionisio Liz. Barney Jo Long. W. Matthews. Kenneth Mbuno. Paulette Moorhead. Eldika Murray. Melissa Plowden Norman. Peku Payton is excused. Santina Payton. Simone Pratt. Here. C. Doris Penn. Here. Karen Bell. Present. Stacy Ruffin, present. Shakira Shahid. Present. Suzette Shepherd. Present. Jamila Swift. Present. Chinua Doe. Omar Walker. Present. Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman. Shanita Wells. Douglas Williams. Here. T.J. Wilson.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, while we're, Secretary's checking on the form, I know we have a form. We're going to move on to the committee updates and resolutions. So the committee chairs and co-chairs and vice chairs have any report they'd like to give. This is your time. And then after the committee updates, I think we have one resolution, right? Okay. Any chairs have anything for the committee update?
Good evening. The Parks, Arts, and Culture Committee already had their meeting for May, but in June, the first Wednesday in June, we will be featuring the artists that came today to attempted to present. We'll be giving him some time, so anyone interested should come out to our meeting. Thank you. Roberto Pizzani.
Okay, good evening, everyone. The Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment has its committee meeting on the second Tuesday of every month, and that is tomorrow, May 8th. At that meeting, we will have a representative from the MTA to talk about bus service and transportation service, and there will also be another representative at the meeting. The meeting starts at 6:30 upstairs in the Community Board office.
Sunday, I go from the Bylaws Committee. The Bylaws Committee meets every fourth Thursday of the month. We had a online meeting, me and Ms. Rao, and the addendum to the bylaws, it was postponed because I had a death in the family.
Hello, good evening, Tom Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development Committee. So if anyone wants to be involved in the process of economic development, we meet the first Thursday of every month, the first Thursday of every month. We also have 3 new agendas that we're going to present. I know everyone says all we do is talk about SLA applications, licenses, so we've actually looked at that and we've taken that to heart. So the first thing that we have going on is the committee will reach out to some of our local banks, so we know how important it is and a part of economic development as far as getting to know your local bankers. So moving forward, every month we'll have a 1, 2, or 3 minute segment where a local banker will come and introduce themselves so you guys can get to know who your local branch manager is at the banks that we have here on this corner as well. Secondly, we also have, which is something that is really big, that has been coming from the committee for a very long time. And I know a lot of individuals, a lot of small businesses will need it and do need it. And that is the NWBE certification process. So right now, the committee is working on putting together information about that and presenting that to businesses. And if individuals don't know, the NWBE is the Minority Women Business Enterprise. Also to Bridge Street Development, they do a lot of work, a lot of workshops and seminars centered around that as well. So expect maybe a partnership between that, between Bridge Street and the CB3 Economic Development Committee, thanks in part to the actual committee that's been doing the work. So those are the updates. So again, if anybody wants to be involved in that. Oh, and the third thing is, like I mentioned before, we are in partnership with Jobs Plus, which is a program of restoration, and they take individuals, young folks in our community, they get their food handler's license, security guard license, and a whole raft of other things that they can get. What we're looking to do is, the businesses that come before us, we're looking to connect them with Jobs Plus. So when individuals say, or when businesses come and present and say, hey, what is our job? What are you guys doing? Are you guys hiring locally? We, at least the community board, can say that we will present some of these local businesses with qualified individuals from our community. So those are some of the things that we're working on in economic development.
All right, thank you. One more chair, and then we're gonna have a resolution.
Okay, good evening again. The Education and Youth Committee. First, I want to say that on Thursday, we are meeting at 6:30 on Thursday in the Community Board office, not 7 o'clock. One of our, now becoming our signature events, is the Bedside Best 2018. This is an opportunity to nominate the best principal, the best teacher, the best parent leader, parent coordinator, safety team, school safety team, and support staff members from who are in Community Board 3 schools. There's only one more day to vote. Tomorrow, you will close down the nominations. This is to nominate someone in these categories. They must be from a school in Community Board 3. We also are taking nominations for students, the best elementary, middle, and high school, where they will receive monetary award. This has to be a school staff person needs to nominate a young person. And you know, right now, this is probably the category that has the least amount of nominations. So please contact your schools. If you want to nominate a school leader, please nominate them tonight, tomorrow. Is the last day, and we also included a community partner nomination. This is for any outside group that is supporting a school. If that school nominates that community partner, there will be a ceremony, and the ceremony will be held on June 7th on Brooklyn Queens Day for all those who have been nominated as well as who were selected. Next week, I think starting May 14th, there will be 3 people in each category. That's who we will pick the top 3, and you will have an opportunity to vote for 1 week on those people in that category. So this is a very democratic process. We had about 3,500 people participate last year. We are hoping to have the same or more this year. We are also, the committee is sponsoring Bedside Reads. This is an opportunity for 7th K through 8th grade to sign up to receive free books. This is in partnership with the Macon Public Library, Uncommon Schools, the Assembly Member's Office, the Councilman's Office, and CEC 16. This is an opportunity to do read-alouds with young people and as well for all of them to get free books. If you would like to be a volunteer or to participate, or please sign up a young person. This flyer is available. And last but not least, Bedside School Crawl for District 16 will be held on May 11th, on May 12th, May 18th, and 19th. This is an opportunity to check out our schools in District 16. Please pass the word. All of this will be on CB3's Facebook page and other communication. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have one more committee update.
Yes, CR's Housing and Land Use Committee. We will be meeting this Wednesday, 2 days, on May 9th, in the Community Board office at 6:30 p.m. Our agenda will be the M Hotel, which is a policy, new policy that the city wants to put into place, regulating hotels that are being built all over our community. So that's something that I know everyone is a hot button issue. We will be discussing that, and we will also be discussing the ULURP and zoning processes.
Thank you.
On Wednesday, May 9th, that's in 2 days, this Wednesday.
6:30?
6:30. And just very briefly, and I'm opening up, but our chair mentioned in his report a rezoning. Community Board 8 is in a study to rezone a portion of their manufacturing area, and that discussion is still spilling over to Community Board 3, Atlantic Avenue, which divides Community Board 8 and Community Board 3. It's very early in the discussions for Community Board 3. We'll be doing a presentation on that in the near future, but there is some vision right now for a rezoning of Atlantic Avenue between Carlson and Mill Street. The meeting is in the Community Board office, which is 1360 Fulton Street, right over post office.
Okay, I don't think any of the committee reports, so we're gonna have a resolution now coming from the Transportation Committee. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We have a resolution from the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee. The resolution is to maintain the funding for the approved sanitation garage in Brooklyn Community Board 3. Everyone has a copy in front, but I'll read it. By a vote in favor of this resolution, Community Board 3 in Brooklyn supports the construction of a sanitation garage in its community. The New York City Department of Sanitation came before us and made a presentation on the completed design of the garage. We recognize that the construction of a sanitation garage will shorten the routes the sanitation trucks travel to pick up garbage in this community, reducing the economic cost of the service and creating less gas emissions. Having a sanitation garage in this community should also help improve the efficiency of sanitation service. This should also lead to a cleaner, healthier community with a reduction in rodents. Community Board 3 is also a strong supporter of the mayor's 30% MWBE program, which would apply to the construction of the sanitation garage. A project of this size would be a stimulus to the economic development of this community, while also providing workforce opportunities to the men and women in Community Board 3. Therefore, be it resolved that the Brooklyn Community Board 3 urges the Department of Sanitation, the City Council, and the Mayor to keep the capital funds in the upcoming fiscal year 2019 budget and the following fiscal years thereafter until completion of the garage. We put this resolution together to let our elected officials know that we want to see the funds maintained in the budget. Over the years, the funds have been in the budget and have disappeared. We've now gotten to the point where the funds for the building have been designed, the funds for the construction of the budget are to be put in place. But we know in a budget season, if you don't articulate your desires and let your elected officials know what your desires are, those funds may disappear. So that is why we're putting a resolution in front of the board today so that we can vote on this and have it sent to our elected officials so that they know our position and that we want them to work to keep the capital funds in the budget for the construction of this garage.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the resolution? Move.
Second motion.
Seconded by Party Joe Long. Okay, any discussion on the resolution? Okay, we'll call the question. We can have it.
Babatunde Akaway.
Affirmative.
Felicia Alexander.
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Musera. Ivy Gamble Cobb.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier.
Yes.
Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
Yes.
Mark Marcel.
Yes.
Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes.
Yes.
Keith Forrest.
Yes.
Barry Glasgow.
Yes.
Sheer Greenfeld.
Yes.
Mary Jameson Head.
Yes.
Kimberly Hill.
Yes.
Oma Holloway.
Yes.
Therese Iriarte.
Yes.
Edna Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Party Joe Vaughn.
Yes.
W. Matthews.
Yes.
Kenneth Mbuno.
Yes.
Simone Pratt.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn.
Yes.
Karen Rao.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Shakira Shaheed. Suzette Shepherd.
Yes.
Jamila Swift.
No. Okay.
Omar Walker.
Yes.
Doug Williams.
Yes.
TJ Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a quorum, we have 33 members present and 13 absent. Okay, we're going to move on to action on the public hearing. So, first item is a request for ACS and the recommendation was given by the chair of the Housing and Land Use
In relation to the new lease at 265 Marcus Boulevard, most, if not all, of our center-based daycare centers has a direct lease between the city of New York and the owner. The programs do not lease the space, the programs are funded to occupy the space, but the lease is usually, if not always, between the city of New York and the owner of the property. The second clarification is that leases is part of the ULURP process, the responsibility of the ULURP committee. Just as we have with development, with zoning, with variances, with special permits, leases is part of that process as well. So that has to come before the community board for support in order for the city to go forward with the lease. In this particular daycare center, it's been there for many years. The lease expired because the leases are usually 20-year leases. The term of this lease is also 20 years. So, this matter, because it is rather routine, was brought before the executive committee, and the executive committee had made their recommendation. So, in the matter of an application submitted by the Administration for Children's Services and the Department of Citywide Administrative Services pursuant to Section 197C of the New York City Charter for the acquisition of property located at 265 Marcus Garvey Boulevard, Block 1624, Lot 1, for continued use as a child care center. The recommendation is to support.
So before we take the vote, there's a board member has to make a statement.
So I will recuse myself from voting on this issue since I voted yes.
All right, so we're going to have one recusal. That's Karen Brown. Recused. Okay. So you heard the recommendation from the chair of the Housing and Land Use Committee on request from ACS for letter of support. Is there a motion on the recommendation from the chair of the Land Use Committee? Motion to accept the recommendation by Mr. Poirier. Is there a second? Second by Gregory Glasgow. Any discussion on the motion? Yes. Discussion on the motion?
Yes.
Okay, so Dr. Lamb, you need a mic?
Section 1.197C of the New York City Charter is for the use, development, or improvement of real property subject to city regulation, which needs to be reviewed pursuant to a uniform review procedure. Local law 39 requires that community boards be given such information necessary for the work which they shall require. And even though the early childhood education program has existed there for many years, we've not been given any information regarding the value of the services that have been provided, the quality of the services that have been provided thus far in order to make such a determination.
You want to respond, Ms. Penn?
I could respond, I'm not following the question.
Okay, I think I understand. The lease is with the city though, it's not with the agency that's operating the daycare. But you're asking a question about how the daycare is being operated now?
If I may, Dr. The attorney who came before us, he said that the program had a 95% enrollment and the other information you can FOIL. Yeah, so it's DCAS, ACS, all that information is public information.
And just in addition to what he's saying, ACS wouldn't continue with the operator if they didn't think that the operator was providing quality service. As we've seen in our community over the last 5 to 10 years, the reduction of agencies that are providing child care service and being funded by the city. So I would go on, from my perspective, if they're going to continue with it, we know the service is needed in the community, I would support the lease.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? The motion is to accept the recommendation to issue a letter of support to ACS so they can re-let that space. Okay, if there's no other discussion, I will call the question and have a vote.
Babatunde Akoya.
Yes.
Felicia Alexander.
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Buzarek. Ivy Gamble Cobb.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
Yes.
Mark Fizell.
Yes.
Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes.
Yes.
Keith Forrest.
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow.
Yes.
Shea Greenfeld.
Yes.
Mary Jamieson Head.
No.
Kimberly Hill.
Yes.
Oma Holloway.
Yes.
Therese Duriarte.
Same.
Edna Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb. Marty Joe Long.
Abstain.
Debbie Matthews.
Yes.
Kenneth Abuno.
Yes.
Simone Pratt.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Shakira Shahid.
Yes.
Suzette Shepherd.
Yes.
Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Omar Walker. Doug Williams.
Yes.
TJ Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, the next action will be regarding the Finger Lakes Brooklyn Cafe Corp. Recommendation given by Chair of the Economic Development Committee, Taiwan.
Good evening again, everyone. In reference to the alcohol beverage control license application for Finger Lakes Brooklyn Cafe Corp. doing business as Finger Lakes Burger and Wings, the committee recommends a letter of support.
Is there a motion on the recommendation from Mr. Anthony? Moved by Johnson, seconded by Gregory Glasgow. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll call the question. Have a vote.
Babatunde Akoya.
Yes.
Felicia Alexander. Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best.
Yes.
Anthony Buzarek.
Yes.
Ivy Gamble Cobb.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier.
Yes.
Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
No.
Mark Fizell.
Yes.
Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes. Keith Forrest.
Yes.
Gregory Glasgow.
Yes.
Shea Greenfeld.
Yes.
Mary Jamieson Head. Kimberly Hill.
Yes.
Ona Holloway. Therese Duriarte.
Yes.
Edna Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Marty Jo Vaughn.
No.
W. Matthews.
Yes.
Kenneth Napono.
Yes.
Simone Pratt.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn.
Abstain.
Karen Rao.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin, yes. Shakira Shahid.
Yes.
Suzette Shepherd.
No.
Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Omar Walker.
Yes.
Douglas Williams.
Yes.
T.J. Wilson.
No.
Next item will be Struzo LLC request for a letter of support. The report on that item will be given by Mr. Tyler Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development.
Once again, coming out of the Economic Development Committee in reference to a sidewalk cafe application for Struzo LLC, doing business as Fermento, located at 358 Kosciuszko Street. That's on the corner of Marcus Garvey Boulevard. The committee, sorry? So, when you, let us continue. In reference to this applicant, the committee recommends a letter of non-support due to the fact that they did not come. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay, is there a motion on the recommendation from Mr. Anthony? By Edna Johnson, is there a second? Jamila Swift? Were you compelled? Okay. Is there any discussion on the motion? No. Call the question, we have a vote. So again, the recommendation is to issue a letter of non-support, correct? Mr. Anthony? Yes. Recommendation is to issue a letter of non-support.
Due to the fact that he did not come.
Babatunde Akwe.
Emphatically yes.
Felicia Alexander.
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best. Anthony Cruiser. Ivy Gamble Cobb.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
Yes.
Mark Casal.
Yes.
Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes.
Yes.
Keith Forrest.
Yeah.
Gregory Plasko. Sheer Greenfeld.
Yes.
Mary Jameson Head.
Yes.
Kimberly Hill.
Yes.
Oma Holloway.
Yes.
Denise Uriarte.
Yes.
Edna Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Marty Jo Vaughn.
Yes.
W. Matthews.
Yes.
Kenneth Napono.
Yes.
Simone Pratt.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn.
Yes.
Karen Rao.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Shakira Shahid.
Yes.
Suzette Shepherd.
Yes.
Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Omar Walker. Douglas Williams.
Yes.
And T.J. Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, last item we'll take a vote on for the evening will be on the Bar Cuban Restaurant, looking for a letter of support for the sidewalk cafe. Recommendation is going to be given by the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Mr. Tyler Anthony.
Last item of the evening, Economic Development Committee for Sidewalk Cafe, application for Pilar Cuban Restaurant. They did come. They are located at 395 Green Avenue on the corner of Bedford. Application was given by the owner. The committee recommends a letter of support.
Okay, is there a motion on the recommendation of Mr. Anthony? Mr. Glasgow, moved, seconded. Mr. Johnson, seconded. Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll have a vote.
Babatunde Akwe.
No.
Felicia Alexander.
No.
Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Best.
Yes.
Anthony Cruiser.
Yes.
Ivy Gamble Cobb.
Abstain.
Evelyn Collier.
Yes.
Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle.
Yes.
Mark Casal.
Yes.
Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes. Keith Forrest. Gregory Glasgow.
Yes.
Shea Bell.
Yes.
Mary Jameson Head. No. Kimberly Hill.
Yes.
Oma Holloway. Oma Holloway. Teresa Rivera.
No.
Edna Johnson. Edna, you said yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Marty Joe Long.
No.
Oma Holloway, you said?
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Matthews.
Yes.
Kenneth Aguno.
Kenneth Obo.
Yes, yes.
Simone Pratt.
No.
C. Doris Penn. Karen Rao.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin, yes. Shakira Shahid.
Yes.
Suzette Shepherd.
No.
Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Omar Walker. Douglas Williams. And T.J. Wilson.
No.
Okay, while we're doing the tally, while the Secretary of Town reports, I'll just have a very brief statement, and that is that if you haven't been attending committee meetings, there will be a letter going out within the next day or two. So it's important that you should at least attend the meetings for your primary committee. So that's something that we are monitoring, and we will be sending out letters in the next few days. Okay, we have the vote tallies. Okay, so the request from the administration for children's services for letter of support to relet 265 Market Star Boulevard. The vote was 28 for, 1 against, 3 abstentions, 1 recusal. Motion carries. Request by Finger Lakes Brooklyn Cafe for a letter of support for an alcohol beverage control license. The vote was 25 for, 6 against, 2 abstentions, so the motion carries for letter of support. Request by Struzo LLC for letter of support, and they did not attend tonight. The vote was 33 for, and the recommendation was for a letter of non-support. Vote was 33 for, 0 against, 0 abstentions. Motion carries for a letter of non-support. The matter of Pilar Cuban Restaurant, request for a letter of support for a sidewalk cafe license. Recommendation was 4 letters of support for them for the sidewalk cafe license. The vote was 23 for, 8 against, and 2 abstentions, so the motion carries for a letter of support for a sidewalk cafe. And regarding the resolution for a sanitation garage, to continue funding for a sanitation garage in Community Board 3, the vote was 32 for, 1 against, and 0 abstentions, the motion carries. Now, we just have one other thing, acceptance of April 2nd minutes. Is there a motion on the minutes? That was, who was that? Shakira Shahid? I began with Cobb, and seconded by Evelyn Cobb. Any discussion on the board? All right. All in favor?